Okay, so you've decided that this is the year you're finally going to stop watching the market from the sidelines. You're going to stop scrolling listings late at night, saving homes you never see again, and wondering whether you're making the right move. Instead, you're actually going to take the step towards buying a home in Canada this year. Now, whether this is your first home, your second home, or even a move up or downsize, chances are you're feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety. Because if you're like most people, you're probably thinking things like, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to overpay. I don't want to end up house poor. And I definitely don't want to choose the wrong realtor or mortgage. And honestly, those concerns are completely valid. Because the truth is, buying a home isn't just one big decision. It's a series of decisions made over weeks, months, often while emotions are high, and most people don't realize where they get tripped up until it's already happened. That's why in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact 10-step home buying process, step by step, the same framework we see successful buyers use. By the end of this video, you'll know what to do, you'll know when to do it, and most importantly, you'll know what mistakes to avoid. This process works whether you're buying your first home, buying again after a few years, upsizing, downsizing, or relocating. And throughout the video, you're going to also see things pointed out where having the right realtor matters the most. And if you want help with that, I'll personally help you hand select a realtor based on where you live and what you're trying to accomplish. That will be the link that's pinned below in the comments. So let's get into it. The first step isn't house hunting, it's not mortgage rates, and it's definitely not scrolling realtor.ca at midnight. The first step is honestly evaluating your financial readiness. Most people think that just means asking, do I have a down payment? Can I afford the monthly payment? But that's only part of the picture because owning a home isn't just a mortgage payment. In fact, you need to consider things like repairs, maintenance, property taxes, insurance, utility spikes, and unexpected life events. Roof leaks don't care if you just moved in. Furnaces don't ask if it's a good time. So before you buy, you need to ask yourself a very few important questions. If something went wrong, could I still keep this home? That's why I strongly believe buyers should have their down payment plus 3 to 6 months of living expenses set aside as an emergency buffer. Not because you expect things to go wrong, but because home ownership punishes people who aren't prepared. This is where a lot of buyers stretch too far, too fast. They qualify for a number on paper, but they're stressed every month afterwards. Buying a home this year means buying on sustainability, not emotionally. Next up, saving your down payment. And here's the good news. Canada actually gives you powerful tools to do this if you use them correctly. You generally have 3 buckets working together. RRSPs using the home buyer's plan, the first home savings account known as the FHSA, and also non-registered savings. For first-time home buyers, the FHSA is one of the best tools ever introduced. Contributions are tax deductible, withdrawals for a home are tax-free, and unlike RRSPs, you don't have to repay it. When combined, FHSA contributions, RRSP contributions, employer matching, and tax refunds reinvested back into savings, you can dramatically increase how fast you reach your down payment goal. One important caution here is some people use RRSP loans to accelerate the savings, which can work, but it can also reduce how much mortgage you qualify for. This is one of those moments where advice really matters. Always coordinate your saving strategy with a mortgage professional before you implement it. Step number 3 is get pre-approved and way earlier than you think. This step saves people thousands of dollars and incredible amounts of stress. Most buyers think pre-approvals are something you do 60 to 90 days before buying. That's outdated thinking. If you think you might buy in 6 months, 12 months, or even 2 to 3 years, getting pre-approved now gives you clarity. A real pre-approval tells you how much you qualify for, what your payments actually look like, what rate assumptions are being used, and whether anything on your credit or income needs fixing. Just as important, it lets you plan intentionally instead of guessing. One critical point here, you want a fully underwritten pre-approval, not a quick online quote. That means income documents reviewed, down payment verified, credit actually assessed. Too many deals fall apart because someone thought that they were approved and they weren't. Step number 4 is budget for the costs that most people forget. This is where a lot of buyers get blindsided. They budget for mortgage payments, maybe utilities, but they forget property taxes, insurance, maintenance, condo fees, repairs, and lifestyle inflation. And homes that look affordable on paper can often feel very different once the real life kicks in. Smart buyers ask, can I afford this comfortably, not just technically? If you want stress-free ownership experience, you need margin, not max approval. Step number 5 is hire a real estate agent. And I cannot emphasize how important this is. You need to make sure that you have everybody who represents you is genuinely looking out in your best interest for the home buying process. And by the way, as mentioned, there's a link in the description and pinned in the comments below if you need help finding a real estate agent in Canada. I have people in pretty much every part of the country that I can refer to, people who will look out for your interests, not just their own, and not just the interest of the seller. There may be the temptation to go online, search for houses, find someone on the internet who shows you those houses, or to drive by the houses, see the for sale sign, think, hey, that one looks nice, I'll call the number on the sign. But you shouldn't be doing that. You need to interview agents. You need to find the one that you truly believe is looking out in your best interest, and then let them do all of the work for you. A great agent who is there to protect you will not only save you a whole bunch of money, but for example, buying a home that's on the right of way of a future highway. That home may look fine today, but once that highway is built, it becomes incredibly difficult or even impossible to sell. And that's just one example. There are dozens of potential issues that most buyers would never catch on their own, but a great realtor will. That's why this step matters so much. If you don't already have a realtor you trust, this is not the step that you want to guess on. Again, if you want help, check out the pinned comment below and I'll personally help match you with the right realtor based on where you live and what you're trying to do. Now, the 6th step is begin your home search. At this point, you've got a real estate agent, you've told them what you want, and they've set you up on searches and they're sending you listings that meet your criteria. Now, here's where the strategy really matters. You want to have a really good filtering process. The trick is to only view homes that are highly likely to meet your criteria. The last thing you want to do is see 30, 40, 50 homes because 1, that's a lot of work, and 2, it creates a lot of confusion. When you see that many homes, everything starts to blur together. You can't remember which one was the 3rd, 5th, or even the 10th. So instead, you want to narrow things down before you go out. Filter hard. Get it down to 3 to 5 homes, then go view those. If you find one you love, great, write an offer. If you don't, that's okay. Reevaluate your criteria so that the next time that you go and view another 3 or 5 homes, you're more aligned with what you actually want. Most of the time, that first round of 3 to 5 homes is really a scouting trip. It helps you figure out what you truly want and, just as importantly, what you don't want. The 7th step in the home buying process is once you find the house you love, you make an offer. Once again, this is where a great real estate agent is worth their weight in gold. Maybe not literally worth their weight in gold, but they can absolutely save you tons of money by being a strong negotiator and knowing how to structure the deal properly. Here's something most buyers don't think about. The difference between a good realtor and a great realtor is negotiation. There's a question I like to encourage people to ask their realtor when they're interviewing them, and the question is, can I get a discount? Can you give me a deal on your commission? And then push them a little more. And why? Because realtors who can advocate for themselves are usually the ones who can advocate effectively for you. If they can't confidently explain why they shouldn't discount their value, how do you expect them to stand firm when the listing agent pushes back on price, condition, or terms? If they struggle here, that's a red flag. And if they can't think quickly on their feet when another realtor, the one representing the seller, comes back to negotiate, the chances of them getting you the best deal possible are pretty slim. This is why choosing the right realtor matters so much. And again, if you don't have one you trust, the link in the description or pinned comment will allow me to help you find one for you. Step number 8 is inspection and due diligence. Never skip the inspection, ever. Even brand new homes can have issues. A good inspection can save you from major repairs, give leverage in negotiations, or confirm peace of mind. Your realtor will help guide you toward inspectors who are thorough, honest, and not afraid to point out problems. Step number 9 is finalize your mortgage properly. Once the offer is accepted, your mortgage gets finalized. A good broker will provide multiple options, explain penalties, flexibility, and risk, help you choose, not choose for you. The lowest rate isn't always the best mortgage. This step shapes your next 5 years, not just day one. Step number 10 is legal closing. Step number 10 is legal closing and getting the keys. Finally, you're closing. Your lawyer, they transfer ownership, register the new mortgage, collect down payment funds, and coordinate with the seller's lawyer. On closing day, funds move, keys are released, and you officially become a homeowner. That's the moment it all becomes real. So buying a home this year isn't about timing the market perfectly. It's about following the right process, making informed decisions, and surrounding yourself with the right people. If you want help choosing a great realtor, I'll personally connect you with someone I trust. Check the pinned comment to get matched. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who's thinking about buying. And if you want more information about banks and interest rates, I'll put a video right here for you to view so that you continue to become educated in the home buying process.